right. Well, welcome everybody. Today is January 7, and it is a Tuesday, our second day back to school. And it's strange because it almost sort of sometimes feels like a fake midway point through the year, but it's not quite midway. Today, I suspect things will be short and sweet because we have things coming up, and we had a good meeting in December, and we're kind of heading into the latter part of the year. So we'll see how things go. But welcome to everybody who is either here live or watching the recording after the fact. And as always, we'll go through each of our schools, and we will start with the elementary school.
Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to see you here. We had a fantastic December. We had 5 Christmas concerts between the week of December 9th to 12th. They were fantastic and successful, and everybody was pleased, I think. So that was great. We also had parents come and read with classes for the week before Christmas, and that was delightful. Parents signed up with their own child's class, and they came in and they read Christmas books. Some of them brought snacks. So that was a real treat for the kids and the teachers and the parents alike. And January, we have some theme days. We have the 80th day of school, so dress in the 80s fashion on the 21st. And on the 29th is Jersey Day. The 31st is a PD day. Our Extreme Assembly is the 24th. And January 15th is the big day that the fish eggs will arrive. So this is our 3rd year in the FINS program. So we get usually about 60 eggs, fish eggs that come, and we have a tank all set up. It has to have a chiller and everything. So that's happening right now, and the kids are getting excited and asking about it. And the 60 eggs get put in. They're little tiny looking like salmon eggs. They're kind of orange in color. And we grow them, and they hatch, and they get fed, and once they June hits, they are a release program. So in the past, the past 2 years, we released our fish into Boulder Pond, which is just west of town. They give us a few ponds that are on their list of places to release fish. And so it's really quite great. They're awesome with us. They help us a ton. And so the kids get really, really excited, and it's the best conversation piece known to man. If you need to teach speech, just go down and talk about the eggs and the fish. The garden towers are growing out of control. So over the 2 weeks we had Christmas break, we have actual zucchinis now that are about yay long. We have cucumbers. The strawberries are like really starting to grow. So our we have Farmer Timmy, who's in charge of the garden towers, but him and his friends are super excited, and we'll be eating off of the garden towers in no time, I'm sure. So it's been a good start to the new year.
Well, how fantastic. I love that the kids are learning about fish and growing things, and that's fantastic. And yes, Happy New Year to all of those little elementary. Is that it for you, Vicki?
That's it. We're good.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. And I mentioned earlier, I would check the recordings, and our last Iron Ridge Collective, we have 67 views. So that's pretty cool that we're reaching out to families, and we want the point of all of this is to reach out to as many as we can, to inform, to work together. So we thank you for joining us live or for listening to the recording. And if you have any questions, please feel free to pop those into the chat at any time, and I can get the questions to the correct administrator or try to answer them, or we can get back to you and get an answer for your question. All right, Iron Ridge Intermediate. Go ahead, Lacey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's still kind of not reality that we're back at work. I'm with you, Kaylee. These mornings are not easy, but here we are. I just wanted to mention, we've been talking to the kids about this on the announcements every morning, just trying to set us all up for success for the month of January. We've asked teachers to refamiliarize kids with some of the routines and expectations in different parts of the school, and really pay attention to, transition activities and making sure that we're just kind of being consistent about regaining that control and that calm in the building after a crazy December, which was super fun, but we do need to kind of get our heads back in the game. So in that regard, we're just asking our kids and our families to just be really mindful of things like sleep hygiene, getting to bed at a consistent time, and setting kids up for success with good healthy lunches and water bottles, and making sure that everybody's nourished and sleeping. Making sure that kids have some breaks from technology. This is tough in the winter. As a parent, I struggle a lot with it, but just structuring in some time where we're away from screens is always really healthy too. Finding some outdoor activities that might be fun. I don't love the cold, but I force myself to go out for my walks, and we do some sledding and skating and things like that. So really just encouraging our families to try to find that healthy balance so that we can all kind of get into January with some good energy and tackle some good goals this year. We have our grade 4 classes headed to the Kerrywood Nature Center next week, and they always have a good time there at the Interpretive Center. So looking forward to getting our kids out of the building in the winter. That's something that we don't always do. So we're looking forward to a little bit of a break from our desks and the inside, and going to do some interactive activities at the Kerrywood Nature Center. Our next Pizza with the Principal is January the 24th, and we're looking forward to having lunch with those kids. You can expect phone calls, some of you, from Carol and I in the next couple of weeks as we look through our referrals and make those phone calls. They're always fun. Miss JB is going to be starting up our canteen again. We haven't had it open this year yet. But on Fridays that we have school, we're going to be running a canteen with the proceeds going to lower the cost of grade 6 camp for our families. We do some fundraising to make camp more accessible to families and to cover costs for families who need that financial assistance. So Carol does an amazing job of running canteen, and I know she plans to get the grade 6 students involved in helping with that, giving them some leadership in that regard as well. So we're looking forward to unrolling that with the kids. When I mentioned it to somebody the other day, these little people, they just lit right up. They love our canteen. So looking forward to that. We are also always looking for sponsors for grade 6 camp. So if you or someone you know would like to sponsor our school to go to camp, whether you would like to help us with busing costs or pay for campers that need a little bit of extra assistance, or just help make a donation to help lower the overall cost for each family, that would be amazing. Certainly pass that information on to your friends and family. If you know any business owners that might be interested in doing that, they can always reach out to us. And I know we send a letter out as well into the community just requesting sponsorship, but I thought I would bring it up here as well, as I know it's only January, but it sneaks up real fast on us here. And I'm definitely looking forward to that nicer weather. We have our very first official joint school council meeting. We were able to get a board put together between the junior campus, the elementary, and us. And so we have our very first meeting today after the collective meet here at around 4 o'clock. So if anyone would like to join us to be part of that fun, then please do. We'd love to have you there and have you part of the action. I see that Carol included a little book character day, January 30th. Visual there for you. So that will be another fun dress up day around here. So be thinking about costumes for that. I'm sure your kids have all kinds of ideas. And if it's anything like our other spirit days, it should be a lot of fun. And that's it for me.
Fantastic. Thank you. Honestly, Pizza with the Principal is my favorite thing. This started before I came. And I remember hearing about it and going, do I get to be there? And making those phone calls, those good news phone calls. But I do love to mess with the families a little bit. And if there's any parents there that I've tricked, I love it. It's my favorite thing. I like to trick them into like something's wrong. And then the kids think it's hysterical and they laugh. And it's a really fun time. So good. Awesome. Fun times in the office. All right. Junior campus, you're on.
Okay. Well, Carol, I'd like to be there when you're tricking parents because I'm sure they love it when you do that. Anyways, yeah, welcome back and Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully you had a great break with your families. I just wanted to start by sharing we had such an incredible December with all the wonderful positive school community activities we had going on with our 12 Days of Christmas and our option class, the Helping Hands and our leadership students who did a ton of fundraising and charity work to support people in need over the Christmas break, or for the holidays, sorry. And most excited to just share that we had our first annual Christmas brunch the morning of December 20th. And it was an absolute huge success. I know we've got Krista here who's with us, who is one of our key parents that we depended on to help us pull it off. Essentially, we had 250 people in the gym sitting down to eat at the same time that day. And it took a lot of background work to get everything ready in advance so that we could enjoy a meal together. And so it was a huge success that day. Lots of great feedback, and really impressed that on a last day before Christmas, when we're kind of have something fun going on, it's not unusual in junior high to see a drop in our population on that day. But we had the majority of our kids were here that day, so they didn't miss out. And then they went for the afternoon and had the choice to either go bowling or to a movie. So it was a great day before the break, and we hope we've started something new that we can continue well into the future. Also, just I mentioned about our parents. We had quite the army of parents that were helping us out the day before and the morning of. As you can imagine, there's a lot of meal prep in there. And so just thanks to the parents that supported us, and also to the high school and the use of your kitchens the day before and the morning of. Again, couldn't have prepared that amount of food without having that kind of help. So thanks all the way around. It was great. Just some important upcoming dates and all this information went out in our newsletter yesterday. So our term 1 ends at the end of the month, so January 30th. We will be doing midterms on January 21st and 23rd. And this year we are doing something a little bit differently. We are only focusing on our literacy and numeracy midterms. And so that was some collaboration with our staff. And again, one of the things that is a little different this year, without having grade 9s who are typically preparing for their PATs, that we felt that the need and the value of our midterms was most valuable focusing on our literacy and numeracy, so language arts and math. So we'll be curious to see what that is like, especially for our grade 7s who've never experienced sort of a high stakes assessment like that before. And then we will be sending home a hard copy of report cards on January 30th. And so parents can look forward to that. And then also really exciting for our kids that we begin our third quarter or Q3 options will also be ending at the end of the month and starting our next round on February 3rd. So we are surveying students. We get a lot of feedback from our kids. Obviously, getting to junior high, kids are really excited to get to have option classes. I think I've mentioned in some of our previous collective meetings that we've really beefed up our options this year and the variety that kids have to choose from. So the menu of options, but also how many different options they actually get to do by the end of the year. And so our staff, when we met in December, decided that we needed to hear from our kids if we're actually hitting the target with giving them what they're looking for. So we surveyed students today, and we'll be looking at that feedback just to make sure that we're on the right track with the menu of options that we're offering. I also just wanted to highlight some other just good things to know. Our daily literacy intervention is up and running. I've spoken about that previously, but we're just really proud of the support that about 30 of our students has been receiving since early November. So that is a great success. We also have over the last month or just before the end of November began our weekly whole school interventions as well. And so that's a chance to really demonstrate to our kids that their success is our priority and helping them be the best that they can be. And so our weekly interventions include targeted supports in areas that they might not be feeling as successful with, or their marks are just showing that they're struggling, or for students who need more of an enrichment experience because they are strong across the board in their core subjects. And so we try to offer a good variety of activities that are more enrichment based. And also for students that just need some time to be getting caught up on work on their own. This is pretty typical of many schools in our district, and we're just really proud that we've been kind of tiptoeing into it this fall and really have things kind of learning how to run that and be effective with that. So looking forward to more great things with that initiative. We also have coming up here at the end of January, the Sendero Center, which was formerly known as the Central Alberta Sexual Assault Center, will be coming in to offer to our grade 8 health classes a session called Consent One-on-One. It deals with basically educating students about healthy dating relationships. We think it's very important information, especially at that age level. And they also offer a virtual session beforehand for parents so that parents can really understand the curriculum that they're going to be delivering and have a chance to ask any questions to make sure that they're comfortable with the students participating in that. So the information about that and a link to that virtual session is all in our newsletter that was sent home yesterday. And the other great school community event that we are looking forward to is some Indigenous education health lessons coming up on January 15th and 16th. Our grade 7s will be learning about the importance of in the Cree culture about hair and the significance of the braids, and our grade 8s will be learning more about the medicine wheel. So some good whole school Indigenous education. And then our next big event that we are really setting our sights on now is preparing for February 26th, which is our Student Wellness Day, and it's also the same day that our students go to Canyon Ski Resort for either skiing or snowboarding. And so this will be our third year of offering this day. And so, of course, most of the interest of our students is to go hit the slopes for the day. But we also have a number of our students who maybe aren't interested or would rather do something different. And so we offer them basically a health and wellness conference for the day. And so we tap into a lot of our parents, parent volunteers, and community partners to help support that event for us that day. So we are just getting into the details of that day now with that conference. And so we will be calling on lots of partners and community or parent volunteers to support us on that day, whether they want to go hit the slopes with their kids or if they want to come be part of our health and wellness conference. So information on that is also in our newsletter, and we'll be sending home lots of information leading up for students to get registered. And I believe that is everything. And as I always like to remind, we want to make sure parents have lots of information and are not in the dark. So please stay up to date with our newsletters, our website, and our social media as well.
Fantastic. So Nicole, when you're serving the kids about options, when will you release those findings, or when do we? I'm curious about what they want.
Well, and I am curious too what they're going to say, because I'm sure this will be a shock to many of you, but kids just never seem satisfied with what we're offering. And we've had a lot of criticism. So we're trying to show them that we're responsive to what they're asking for. So we actually had a student who's a very high achieving math student who was getting a little bit bored. So we asked her to put together a survey that she thought would help kids to, give their feedback. And then she's going to help us look at the results of that. And then we'll share that with the teachers so that they can use that to help inform their decisions with what they're offering. So I'm curious too, Carol. So ask me that in a month and hopefully I'll be able to tell you more.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks so much. And off to the high school.
All right, that's me. I hope everybody in our school community had a wonderful holiday season. And despite the early wake up, it was definitely great to be back yesterday and see all of our students again. We had a lot of fun during our wrap up week before the break. We had a whole week of dress up days. We had door decorating. Mr. Verma's leadership group organized candy cane candygrams. We had a staff versus student dodgeball game at lunch. And to my knowledge, none of the staff came out with any injuries, so we're doing good there. All of our students got to participate in a wellness activity during our flex block on the last day of school. And that included things like cookie decorating, winter workouts, crafts, coloring, video games, board games. I can't even list them all. And that was a lot of fun. And during that week as well, Miss Bandera took her Foods 9 class over to IREC for some cookie decorating as a buddy activity. And I know that our students really enjoyed that. And we love the opportunity to get involved with students on the other campuses. So a big thank you to Vicki and Caitlin for being so welcoming of us to coming into your building, because our kids they love doing that. It's always a big hit. Coming up this month, the last day of regular classes for grades 10 and 11 is Wednesday, January 22nd. So they will only attend when they are scheduled to write an exam in the following days. And our exam schedule is available for everyone to view on our website and our Facebook page. So all the information is there about when exams are scheduled. And we have 2 makeup days that are scheduled in there as well, in case students miss a day when they're meant to write. Grade 9s have science and social PATs happening, but they will continue their normal class schedule throughout exam week up until the end of the semester, which is January 30th.
And then our grade 9 options also start in February. Our sign-up is going to start on January 15th. So if you have a grade 9 student in your household, make sure that they fill out that form. Otherwise, they probably won't get what they want to be in for their option class. Our basketball season's full swing. If you're on our social media, please check it out. I believe it was uploaded today. You get to introduce to some of our teams and the players. Upcoming games, January 29th, February 10th. So that's our home games. Love to have you out cheering them on. And of course, we went rogue and have our own school council happening. And our next meeting is Tuesday, January 21st at 7 p.m. Would love to see some more parents out. We had our first one last month and it was fantastic. And that's it from us.
Oh, fantastic. And I just want to echo a little bit about Nicole, what Nicole said about, wanting to inform parents. The purpose of this is to inform. And we, as you heard from the junior high and the high school, they're just coming to the end of first term, first semester, lots of wrap up there. But for the other schools, this is the midpoint through, well, for all of us, it's the midpoint end of January is midpoint through the year. And we really want to encourage you to reach out to us if you're concerned about your child's social emotional well-being, academics, social issues, anything like that. This team is here to answer questions, to respond. So nothing is ever too far gone, so reach out if you're concerned, you're wanting some extra help, some extra tutoring, some intervention. That's what we're here for. And that's the purpose of joining forces, to inform parents and to let them know what's going on. And we're excited to see the new high school finishing up their first semester. And I think that's great. It sounds like it's been a really big success. So Ed, I have a question for you. So reflecting on this first semester, we're approaching the end of it. What would be like one word to describe this first semester at Iron Ridge Secondary Campus?
Just one word? One word?
Putting him on the spot. This wasn't planned. Yeah.
No, I think you hit it on the head. I'd say success. It's been fabulous. We have a really great staff. Kids been really well. Communities responded really well. So I'd say success. It's been a pleasure.
Kaylee, do you have a different word?
I was going to just say exciting, because it all has been, obviously a big event for the community to have a high school here. And we've had, like Ed said, just a great response from the community of people wanting to be involved, and just very cool opportunity.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that is it for today. And look at that, 25 minutes. Our next.
Carol, sorry to interrupt, Carol, but I just noticed that Jamie Hoover jumped on, and I just wondered if maybe we wanted to invite him if there's any updates from the town. We kind of talked about that.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, Jamie. I don't know if your camera's on. I did see your name pop up there. But if you wanted to share anything, any happenings in the town, you're welcome to do so now. And I think he might be even joining our joint council meeting afterwards too. So that might be a good opportunity as well.
I didn't prepare anything for today. I have in the past. I guess I was a little bit unprepared. I think maybe some of the more relevant things, as people see with the weather being quite cooperative, we continue to to be well ahead of our snow clearing. So unless anybody has any significant concerns with that, I think that we can claim that our roads are in better conditions than they have been in the past. We're well underway in terms of outdoor recreation. The outdoor rinks, as many of your students, I noticed, used them over the holidays. And last year they weren't open until after Christmas. This year we had them open early in December, and as I've noticed, they're being well utilized. I'd have to pull up my calendar. There is the Winterfest upcoming as an event for the town of Blackfalds. I think that falls around the Family Day weekend. So are interested in doing some outdoor activities with the town, that is upcoming. Just take a look at the town events calendar if you are interested in that. Yeah, sorry, I didn't
it's totally
myself very well for this one today.
That's okay. Actually, our next meeting is February 4th, which is before
Right.
Winterfest. So possibly we can have someone speak to the variety of activities that are going on, and maybe we can have a visual for some of those things that are going on, if that's possible. But I actually asked a student today, I said, did you go somewhere over Christmas? And he said, yes. And I said, where did you go? And he said, the ODR.
Yes. Oh, no doubt about it. I live about a block away from it, and I can hear it going until the lights go off, and many times even after the lights go off, it gets a little bit noisier at that point. People running into each other.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Sorry for putting. Today's the day where I put people on the spot, apparently. So
yes, I just joined in a little bit later.
And no worries. We're glad that you're able to join us. And like I said, parents, for those of you watching, whether it's live or after the fact, please reach out to us. We're kind of approaching that midway point through the year, and we want to support your students. We want to be a united front. If you have concerns, this platform is for you to get a one-stop, looks like we're approaching 30 minutes to just get the news from everything that's happening in all the schools. And even if you don't have kids in some of the other schools, you can kind of hear what's going on and anticipate for when your own children go to those schools. So we want to show you that your students your children are in good hands, and we care. Their success is our success. Oh, Mrs. Rawlinson has a question.
Well, hi, sorry to interrupt you, but I was just thinking about when Lacey mentioned about coming back to school after the break and taking the opportunity to kind of do a refresh with students and parents about, getting through the winter months and being healthy and making positive choices at school. And I was just thinking, we were talking with a student today about some struggles on one of the buses and some of the tension on the bus because some of the behaviors that have been happening. And I think it's a good opportunity for parents at this time of the year to really, if their students are on the bus, that they really talk with their kids, whatever grade level they might be, about the importance of our drivers and the important job that they have getting our kids home and to school every day safely, and the comfort to all the other kids on the bus. I know there's a range of, from little ones all the way up to our high school kids on those buses, and those drivers have a tremendously challenging job, even just with weather conditions sometimes. So if parents can just take some time again to talk with their kids if they ride the bus about, how to be a good passenger and how to be respectful of the other passengers on the bus and help everybody feel safe and comfortable, that would be wonderful.
Excellent point. Because yes, the buses are full, and it can be tricky mixing kids from all the schools, and it can be a tricky time of day too, either early in the morning when we're a little bit cranky or at the end of the day when we're tired. All right. Well, I believe that's it for now. We'll see everybody on February 4th. Happy New Year to all. And if there's no other questions, and as always, please reach out to your school administrators if you have further questions beyond this meet.